Elasticity of demand is a consumer's responsiveness or sensitivity to the change in price. Elastic demand, when consumers respond quickly to price changes, either buying more or less of a product when the price drop or rise. Goods with very elastic demand tend to be luxury or non-essential items, easily be substituted by other items, or not purchased at all. For example, high-end fashion, like Gucci or Armani. Whereas inelastic demand is a situation in which an increase or a decrease in price won't significantly affect demand for the product. These products tend to not be that affected by price at all. Whether the price goes up or down, they're pretty stable. A good example of this is oil. Regardless of the price of oil, the demand doesn't really tend to fluctuate all that much at all. In economics term, price inelastic means a change in the price causes a smaller percentage change in demand, whereas price elastic, a change in price causes a bigger percentage change in demand. This principle underlines the Australian government's policy on pricing of cigarettes. By making the price of cigarettes high, the hope is people will reduce consumption or quit altogether. The equilibrium price is the market price, where the quantity of goods supplied is equal to the quantity of goods demanded. This is the point at which demand and supply curve in the market intersect. As you can see, the red line represents demand and the blue line represents supply. The point at which these two meet is considered equilibrium, which basically is the sweet spot. If, for example, you charge $1.50, then your quantity demanded per week will be 80. If you price lower than $1.50, here the demand is higher than supply, meaning shortages, which is shaded in light blue, whereas all the areas shaded in yellow and to the right of the blue box, this represents the price that's being more expensive, in which case businesses are even more likely to produce the product. However, the red line shows the demand drops quite significantly. This is quite an important economic concept to consider. As marketers, when we're trying to set the price of any product, whether they be goods or services, we want to be able to figure out as accurately as possible what is the market willing to pay for our products. If we price it too highly, we're not going to have much of a market. However, if we price it too cheap, we're not going to make much of a profit. So there really is a fine balance. There's a few factors which affect the elasticity. This includes availability of substitutes, means that there are other products that can easily be switched over by our customers. So if they don't want our product because it's too expensive, they can easily replace us with somebody else. A good example of this would be, say, a product like a Kit Kat chocolate bar or Heinz soup. If the price is too expensive, you just go for a different chocolate bar or even a different soup. Product durability. So consumers often have the option of repairing durable products rather than replacing them, thus prolonging their useful life. If a person had planned to buy a new car and the price suddenly began to rise, he or she might elect to fix their existing car and drive it for another year. In other words, people are sensitive to price increase and demand is elastic. Price relative to purchase power. If a price is so low that it is inconsequential, as in not that important, as part of an individual's budget, then the demand will become very inelastic. For example, if the price of salt doubles, consumers won't stop putting salt and pepper on their eggs because salt is still quite cheap. As well as products, others' uses. The greater the number of different uses for a product, the more elastic demand tends to be. If a product has only one use, as may be true of a new medicine, the quantity purchased probably won't vary as price varies. A person will consume only the prescribed quantity regardless of the price. On the other hand, a product such as steel has many possible applications. As its price falls, steel becomes more economically feasible in a wider variety of applications, thereby making the demand relatively elastic.